With the launch of the new model this year, the iconic Suzuki GSX1300R Hayabusa has a 23-year production run, albeit with a 2-year break from 2020 until now. Nevertheless, the Hayabusa's legacy spans 2 millennia and 3 decades, with the new model grabbing an extra R in its name, but never straying too far from the iconic silhouette and styling of the 1999 original. The original first generation Hayabusa will forever be the fastest production bike of the 20th century, and a tuner and customiser's dream. But you're here to find out those little known facts of Suzuki's high-speed icon. Hello and welcome to Moto Chatter. Let's dive into those details. In 1999, the debut Hayabusa displaced the then king, the Honda CBR 1100XX Super Blackbird, as the fastest production bike, and it surpassed it by a significant margin, recording a 194 mph top speed. But did you know that the Hayabusa wasn't originally meant to be the all-conquering speed king that it came to be? According to Koji Yoshirue, the designer of the Hayabusa, it was originally designated to have a 900 to 1100cc engine, not the 1300cc motor it ended up with. It was only through the pursuit of the best handling, acceleration, safety, power, comfort and original styling for the customer that the Hayabusa consequently ended up developing into the fastest production bike ever made, and thank goodness it did. The original design motif for the Hayabusa's fairing and bodywork was the upper body armour and helmet of the ancient samurai warriors. Using this inspiration helped to create the super aerodynamic and very distinctive shape of the Hayabusa, which, as well as helping the busa pass through the air cleanly, protects the rider from all that high-speed airflow. Yoshirue has said that he wanted to create a design with a strong initial impact, something that was totally new and would not go out of date in just a few years, and a design that could be the face of Suzuki. And what better way to do that than draw on that famous Japanese heritage? The design of the Hayabusa wasn't met with a lot of praise when it was first introduced. In fact, its curvy and somewhat bulbous appearance was initially heavily criticised. However, it is the super slippery wind tunnel tune design that was the key element in the Hayabusa becoming the fastest production bike in the world. It had a lot of power, of course, but it wasn't such a revolutionary engine for the time, even though the engine is revered and highly tunable and even used in some sports car applications. The Hayabusa was only producing around 10 horsepower more in standard trim than the Honda Blackbird, even though the Suzuki had an extra 161cc to play with. Where the Hayabusa diverged from its Honda Blackbird competition and really excelled was with its aerodynamic shape and design. The easier a bike can push air out of the way, the faster it can go, regardless of its power output. The design was a case of form follows function, and the criticism it received for its looks didn't worry the designer Koji Yoshirue at all. He refers to the bus's design as weird and even grotesque, but all part of creating something new. He was confident that once people realised the performance capability of the Hayabusa, they would appreciate the looks more, especially as they are directly linked to that performance. Having such a unique style makes the Hayabusa not only fast, but very distinct from its competition, and ultimately helped cement the Hayabusa's iconic status, proving Yoshirue right. From its launch, the Hayabusa grew in popularity as its capabilities but also its usability became known and acquired its iconic status. This was reflected in the sales figures, which with the first generation grew year on year. This bucked the expected and usual trend. Normally, when a new motorbike is released, sales decline over time until the new model arrives. But with the Hayabusa, sales grew year on year throughout the 9-year run of the first generation machine, ending in 2008 with the introduction of the second generation Hayabusa. Such a strong rise in popularity and demand for the Hayabusa could not have been expected, and by the time it was due for a refresh, Suzuki had sold over 115,000 of the first generation model. Something that has stayed present throughout all the generations of the Hayabusa is the Japanese symbol on the fairing, which means Hayabusa, itself being Japanese for peregrine falcon, and there are 2 reasons this name was given to Suzuki's flagship model. One, because the peregrine falcon is able to achieve speeds in excess of 200 mph. Unsurprisingly, it is the fastest bird in the world. But the second reason is that the peregrine falcon's prey is the Blackbird, a surefire message to Honda that Suzuki were coming to take their title. The latest generation of the Hayabusa has sharper lines to mimic its bird of prey namesake and bring the styling up to date while still conserving that Hayabusa shape and its high-speed comfort credentials. It also packs in all the modern electronics you would expect from a top-end sports bike in 2022, as well as being more efficient and producing less emissions. It isn't as powerful as the second generation Hayabusa, if only by a small amount, but it is faster and has further refined aerodynamics, making it the most aerodynamic production bike you can buy. So there you have it, 5 things you didn't know about the Suzuki Hayabusa. I hope you enjoyed the video and learnt something new about the Hayabusa. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe for plenty more motorcycle videos to come. Let me know which of these Hayabusa facts you did or didn't know in the comments. You can click the links on screen for more now, but whatever you do, have a great day and thanks for watching.